Sırbistan, Balkanların göbeğinde kurulu ve denize kıyısı olmayan bir ülke. Osmanlı idaresine ayaklanıp bağımsızlığını ilan ettiği 19. yüzyılın başlarından beri Avrupa siyasetinde merkez bir konuma sahip. Yakın tarihinde iki kanlı dünya savaşına, iki de iç savaşın eklemlendiği bu topraklar 1990 yılında Yugoslavya'nın dağılması sonucu etkileri günümüze kadar devam eden bir parçalanma sürecine girmiştir. Bu sürecin en son halkası 1998 senesinde Kosovalı Arnavutlarla Sırbistan hükümeti arasında yaşanan yüksek yoğunluklu çatışma ve Türkiye'nin de dahil olduğu NATO müdahalesi olmuştur. Bu müdahaleden sonra Sırbistan'da başlayan sancılı demokratikleşme ve Avrupa Birliği adaylık süreçleri devam etmektedir. Liderler ve kararlar bu hafta Sırbistan'ın Türkiye'ye yeni atanan Büyükelçisi Dusan Spasojevic'i ağırlamaktadır.
Liderler ve kararlarda bu hafta Sırbistan Büyükelçiliğinde Ankara'dayız. 10 Şubat tarihinde atanan Sayın Büyükelçi Dusan Spasojevic ile birlikteyiz. Kendisine şimdi Sırbistan-Türkiye ilişkileri ve aynı zamanda da Sırbistan'ın Avrupa Birliği ve NATO ilişkileri konusunda birçok soru yönelteceğiz. Ambassador, thank you very much for granting me this interview. First of all, congratulations on your new job.
Many thanks.
Because from what I've just heard, it started on the 10th of February officially.
Yes, I arrived to Turkey on the 27th. Okay. And on 10th of February I gave the letters of credentials to His Excellency President Gil.
Wonderful. It's very nice to have you here, and thank you for this. I guess it's your first interview in Turkey.
This is definitely my first interview.
Wonderful. It's great for us to have this chance. Well, I want to start off with obviously the relationship between Turkey and Serbia. Last December, the Speaker of the Parliament, Mrs. Dejanovic, she stated that the relations between Serbia and Turkey were at an all-time high. We know that in the past we have had some severe relations back in 2008. Could you please explain to our viewers how now the relations are between Serbia and Turkey?
I would absolutely agree with what the Speaker of Serbian Parliament said. Our relations are absolutely on the highest level. In the last, I dare say, at least 50 years. Because in some recent history, Serbian-Turkish relationship was very developed. If you don't mind a piece of history.
No, of course not.
In this building, the plot of land was given by Kemal Pasha Atatürk to our King of Yugoslavia. Apparently, Kemal Pasha and King Alexander were very close personal friends. Then, in order to reciprocate to Kemal Pasha, our king decided to build a copy of his White Palace in Belgrade here in Ankara. And this is, the building is the absolute copy of our palace, King's Palace in Belgrade. Every piece of furniture is exactly the same in Belgrade. Every piece of tapestry, the pictures, everything. And I have to tell you that our king was unfortunately assassinated in 1934, and Kemal Pasha personally came to this building to open the embassy in residence, and the killing that we had the opportunity to see in the room next door was a personal gift of Atatürk to King Alexander. He brought it with his delegation, and this was the sign of the friendship. Today, we have also very good relationship on the political level. President Gil and our President Tadic became personal friends. It all started in 2006 when President Gil was serving as the foreign minister. He came to Belgrade, and that's how the friendship started. Also, our foreign ministers are very close colleagues. They speak on the phone very often. Sometimes for bureaucrats it is not a very good thing, but it is good for us because it is good for our countries. And we have exchanged lots of visits. In 2007 our president visited Ankara in December. President Gil came to Belgrade in 2008, 2009. Last year Prime Minister Erdogan was in Serbia. So I think on the political level we really have very good understanding and very close cooperation.
That's wonderful. And you were just mentioning before the interview that this room, the exact room that we're in, is called the Queen's Room?
Yes.
So it's probably, I was wondering why it was called the Queen's Room. It's called the Queen's Room because of the exact copy of the palace.
Yes.
Now
yes,
I am.
Exactly.
It's really beautiful. Apart from the political aspect of the relationship between Turkey and Serbia, what is the economic relationship like?
We are working on to develop a strategic partnership.
Yes.
We have achieved a very good political cooperation and very good political understanding. Now my task here, among other things, will be to now copy this political relationship to the economic ones, to develop a strong economic relationship. And we are moving. We have arranged and signed a free trade agreement between Serbia and Turkey. It came into power. It is already valid. We abolished visas, and since December last year, Turks and Serbs don't need visas to visit Turkey and Serbia, which is very good. We have so far a great number of Serbian tourists enjoying Turkish coast during the summer. Approximately 250,000 people are coming from Serbia each year to spend their holiday, to spend their time, to meet Turkey, to visit Turkey. Also now Turkish businessmen don't need visas. They don't need to come to me or Consulate General in Istanbul. They can go and work in Serbia without a visa, which is very good. We have lots of infrastructure projects, ideas, and I hope that when you come here in 2 years' time to talk to me, that we will achieve even more success than we have so far.
I'm sure. I actually had the wonderful opportunity of visiting Belgrade only 2 weeks ago, and obviously having no visa requirement is a wonderful weight off one's shoulder. You can easily go and travel to Belgrade back and forth between Turkey and Serbia, and I do agree. I think it really helps business relations between two countries when you don't have this visa requirement. So hopefully in 2 years' time, I am actually quite sure that you will have made a lot of headway. Well, Turkey has been playing an active role in the Balkans, in the reconciliation process in the Balkans, and it's obviously not an easy role to play. And there have been some critics saying that Turkey has been maybe potentially supporting the rights of the Muslims above other religious groups in the Balkans. What would you say about Turkey's position in the Balkans? Because when I speak to some other representatives from the Balkan countries, they say that this is actually not true and that they believe Turkey has been playing a really active role in terms of negotiating on an equal level.
We in the Balkans live there are lots of prejudices around in the whole of the region, and there's lots of history. Somebody said that we are suffering from lots of history in this region, that we produce more history than we can consume, and that is absolutely true. And politicians both in Serbia and Turkey are aware of this, and they realize that we have to go a step beyond, that we need to move further against prejudices and against conspiracy theories, and that happened. Serbia endorsed Turkish involvement and Turkish role in the Balkans. We are aware of each other's capabilities and potential. Serbia is aware that Turkey is a very important country in this region. It has played a role in this region ever since. It is a very important member of the international community. It is almost a founding member of NATO. It joined NATO in 1952. Has a very long-term relationship with the European Union, and it is a very good economy. It has a very dynamic leadership, and I think that and of course in Ankara we absolutely believe when our Turkish counterparts tell us that they see Serbia as the key to the stability in the Balkans, and if we work together, if we make joint plans, I think that both countries can give and bring stability to the region. If we are at loggerheads, if we don't agree with each other, then we would not have stability in the region. In that sense, I think that so far Turkey played with us a very positive role in calming the region down and pushing the region where it belongs. It is European and Euro-Atlantic community.
That's true, that's true. And while you were giving your answer, I was thinking that maybe one of the ways of improving relations between countries where there are some political disputes, let's say, is also economic relations, improving the economic relations. And from what I understand, this is also what Turkey and Serbia is trying to do. On a bit more of a thorny subject, during his last visit, the Kosovo Prime Minister Taci referred to the Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan as his big brother. How do Turkey's good relations with Kosovo affect relations with Serbia, or do they affect them?
Well, of course, we consider Kosovo as a part of Serbia, as a part of our country. But from March 2009, we have somehow, very wisely by our respective leaders, managed to keep these two our bilateral cooperation and the fact that Turkey recognized illegal independence as far as Serbia is concerned, to keep them on a completely two separate tracks. And I think that that was a very good thing. And also Turkey, from our point of view, has since March 2009 somehow played more constructive role over our southern province. We were very much disappointed when Turkey recognized Kosovo. We did not expect that to happen. From the various points of view, we thought that Turkey is supporting unity of the countries, but that happened, and then we have, from March 2009 on, managed to have President Gil in Serbia, Prime Minister Erdogan here. We are expecting our Prime Minister to visit Ankara and Istanbul in March, and we really are building a very good cooperation, political, economic. Also, our idea is to promote parliamentary cooperation, to bring it down to the level of the members of parliament. We have groups of friendships on both sides. Also, what I want to do, and I personally think it is very important, is to bring political parties both from Serbia and from Turkey together. They're already grouped in the different groupings within Socialist International or European People's Parties. I think this is extremely important. We are having first living Serbian writer translated into Turkish. So far, only people who died decades ago are Serbian writers are in. They have books in Turkish. Now we will have the first living writer. Also, there are lots of Turkish writers translated into Serbian, and also cultural. We have very similar cultures, very close to each other, and I think the culture. Parliamentarians, sportsmen, sportswomen, bring them together, that can make relationship much better. On the Kosovo issue, our leaders have been talking about that one, and I think that we can both. Serbia wants to have a constructive role in solving this issue. The fact that you have asked me about Kosovo is only the best proof that the issue of Kosovo and its status is still not resolved. We are still having many debates on it in the Council of Europe, in the Security Council in New York, within the European Union, and I think that with the joint resolution of Serbia and the European Union in the General Assembly, we moved on. It's important that we move on, that we bring a better life, better economy, and about the status, we will talk.
Because obviously Serbia is not the only country that has an issue like this. There are many other examples of these types of disputes between countries and disputed territories or independent states that resulted from them. And one of the things that most of the time that is advised by some of the international people is to improve the conditions in your country so that the people who decided or who could potentially choose to live in a separate country would actually like to become part of your country. So I guess it's also the same thing for Turkey as it is for Serbia and many other countries. You need to improve the quality of life for your people so that people want to be a part of